If you choose a topic because you think it's going to be easy, you are guaranteeing that that topic is going to be difficult. So this screencast is meant to help you choose a topic that is interesting, that is in the news, that is relevant, that has an impact. I want my student writers to compose essays that actually matter, that contribute this idea, fresh thinking. See if I can zoom in a little bit on it. Can I zoom in? There we go. Fresh thinking. Okay, you have to be able to contribute new knowledge, a new perspective to your topic. And so when you pick these tried and true, reproductive rights like abortion or capital punishment, topics that are like tried and true sort of freshman English topics. Not only have I read millions of them over time, of course that's an exaggeration, but there's nothing new. There's nothing new that you can say about them. There's nothing new that you can contribute, and so the thinking will inherently not be fresh. You want the freshest possible thinking. Got it? Oh, too big. Got it? Fresh thinking. Okay, so that should be on your mind at all times. So where do we find fresh thinking? All right, let's open up a new tab here. Oh, look at my most visited sites: Twitter, Facebook, AV Club, Politico, YouTube, PBS Kids. Thanks. I think that's my children. News.google.com. All right. So the best way to contribute that fresh thinking is to see what is happening right now today. So of course I see political subjects. So if you want to jump into presidential politics, the upcoming election, feel free to. That subject only really comes up every 4 years, so feel free to weigh in on it. What else is going on in the news? Train crash. I guess I could see a topic being linked to maybe like infrastructure. How our taxes are spent. Hundreds protest shooting of unarmed man in El Cajon. I'm not sure. California. So the police shooting of an unarmed black man. My goodness, that certainly is in the news a lot, and the different angles you could take on that are far-ranging from the responsibility of police, the role of race in America in law enforcement today. You could take the technology angle and think about this issue of the shooting of unarmed black men has really come into the news by way of cell phone cameras, by recording and posting to social media, that sort of thing. So I like my why and my how questions. That's definitely true. Here that you could look into, why are so many unarmed black men shot? There's the guy in Minnesota just a couple of days ago who went on a shooting rampage and was taken into custody alive, who had actually had a gun and actually, so you have to wonder that the role that race is playing in almost always the police officers involved are white. So then of course the protests that follow these fatal police shootings, something to be explored for sure. You can scroll through Google News on your own. How Ben Affleck could change a classic Batman story with Deathstroke. Hey, if you want to write on Batman, there's definitely an academic argument to be made there about a why or a how question can definitely come from Batman, all right, or from Justice League, from celebrity culture, or why comic book movies make so much money. I definitely could see something coming from that. Let's see, landslides following a typhoon in China. I mean, climate change is a subject that certainly gets a lot of traction, especially in election years, I'd say. So that's something you could definitely write on, environmental issues. And again, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So South Carolina shootings, 3 wounded at school. So a teenager suspected of opening fire at an elementary school playground. My goodness. So issues related to gun control or lack thereof, of course, is a topic that normally I would say gun control is a topic that you wouldn't want to explore because there isn't fresh thinking to be made. But I think that election years add a slightly more sort of urgency to topics that maybe lie stagnant during midterm elections, that sort of thing, or off election years. student arrested after wearing gorilla mask to Black Lives Matter protest. Goodness, East Tennessee State University. Black Lives Matter is another issue that I think you could take up. What I'm trying to give you is examples of issues that people's minds aren't completely made up yet. And so you have a chance to actually make your writing matter, make it have a relevance or a vitality that just wouldn't be there otherwise. So we can keep scrolling through. You see business topics, technology topics. Try not to scroll too fast. I guess entertainment topics. If you can stay away from sports, I would be pretty happy. It's kind of hard to write academically about many sports issues, although I have seen successful essays in the past based on some issues related to sports. So I'll hear you out. I hope you'll bounce your topics off me. Science. So SpaceX Mars plans. Elon Musk, of course, wants to get hundreds of people to go to Mars, not necessarily with him, and the practicalities of that are up for debate. No one's really settled their opinions on that just yet. So certainly there are topics to be found in the news, and you can always click on local topics. You can see North Canton, or maybe if we just typed in Canton, Ohio. Let's see. Okay, so Donald Trump to speak. So a lot of the national news is about that. Now I'm just going to click out here to CantonRep.com. Okay, so you can see what's in the news. This is my local paper, and for many of you, I imagine it would be as well. You can see what's going on. Louisville teachers are threatening to go on strike. So that gives me an idea of like how much teachers get paid. Should they be paid more? Should they be regulated by school boards, elected officials? That sort of those questions come up. I'd rather not get into this very depressing story. So Mench's Brothers arrives in Perry Township. So new restaurant, right? The role of eating out, and I guess I could go back to that. If I went back to Google News, you can. I guess I didn't show you the search option. So you don't have to just like go to the news and like gather your source from there. You can go to Google News and search for your source. So let's say childhood obesity is always a topic I think that if it wasn't so important, it would be an irrelevant topic, but I think it has a lot of urgency. You think about children's health, you think about children's lives, and what's at risk when we don't keep our children as healthy as they can be. As a parent myself, I find that it's very important that my kids stay active. Which kids? Oh, let me show you these kids. There they are, Keller and Estelle. Aren't they cute? So just seeing what's in the news. Look, this was posted 9 hours ago on childhood obesity, 16 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So what you do when you use a news site like this is you give yourself the opportunity of seeing what is the cultural conversation going on, and then from there you can kind of springboard into, well, what is my stake in this? What am I trying to contribute? What ideas or fresh thinking can I add to this ongoing debate? You may have an answer to that why or the how question. You think about childhood obesity. Why is childhood obesity such a prevalent problem? Why is it so it's so much more noticeable, and so why are the rates so high? Why question is great, but how question tied to it is also just as wonderful, I'd say. How do we reduce childhood obesity? How do we address this issue? How do we keep our children healthy? Very, very important. I'm sure that you have some interaction with that. So anyway, you can tie it to your future major, your planned profession, if you like. I want your topics to matter. And so once you do some of this preliminary research, then it's time to do a bit of a deeper dive. And maybe I'll have something more to say about this later. But if you Stark State, let me start over. All you got to do is Google Stark State Library. I'm on campus, so it's pretty easy for me to do all this. You may have a login if you're off campus. Go to English. I don't know why this is always new tabs. Academic search complete. Research databases is all you ever need. See that long that lag between me clicking and Academic Search Complete opening. I'll tell you why that is. It's because EBSCOhost, the company that owns Academic Search Complete, is charging Stark some money. The rates change, but sometimes it's 17 cents a click. Sometimes it's as low as, I think, like 5 or 6 cents a click. But you're paying your tuition. I know you don't really pay tuition, most of you, but your tuition in a roundabout way is paying for this database. So you'd be wise to get your money's worth out of it. It's got predictive typing, childhood obesity. Then once you find a topic, then it's time to get into, let me go back to new search. I would do full text. I would click this box, full text. Scholarly peer-reviewed journals are nice, and you do have to have some scholarly journals, but I'd say keep a nice wide net for now. So all you're going to get back are sources, if you click full text, that you can see right now, PDF full text. The prevalence and determinants of childhood obesity. I just used that word. So you can start to look at actual PDFs of actual journal. Ooh, not that one. Bad example. Let's see. Can I go back? My Screencast-O-Matic is right where I need to click. All right, so that was a bad one. That was in ancient Greek. How fascinating. Let's see. Effects of a family-based childhood obesity treatment program on parental weight status. That's interesting. Must be a couple. Let's see, prevention of childhood obesity. So, I mean, this thing is in the Journal of Obesity. So it's got to be, you know, pretty relevant to your subject matter if you were to choose childhood obesity as a topic. So you can see, without really reading all of this, you can see the actual article. You can see its actual page numbers. Saves you a little trouble with the citations as well, I will say. Other places to look for topics now that we're sort of, you know, in the backstretch of this screencast. But I mean, you know, I'm just looking at the tabs that I have open. Genius, you know, so, you know, if you ever want to kind of look into song lyrics, pretty easy place to go there. I always have a Reddit tab open, so I'm always on the art subreddit. Let's see if there's any good ones here. Let's see. Oh, Magritte. There you go. Rene Magritte, one of my favorite painters. A Plain Encounter. I know you can only see a fraction of that, but really one of my favorite painters. So if you're interested in art, Reddit is a great place to go about that. What else? I mean, you know, you can get on your Twitter. There's lots of ways to find relevant topics. And so hopefully you will post your name and a description of your article, research questions, and a link to this page. I'd like to see I'm going to add to this here once I'm done with the screencast. In a way that's maybe a little more focused than the screencast has been. But my goal is to help you find a topic that not only you want to write about, but that you can add, again, fresh thinking to. So please send me your questions, bounce ideas off me. I'm sure to be visiting your schools soon. So be thinking very hard about what sorts of topics can I really contribute to. They can have a relevance. I want your papers to matter. I don't want them to just be exercises. I want them to be authentic in as many ways as they can be. So the best way to do that is to involve me in your discussions and your questions. I can pull a topic out of you. I'll, you know, whatever your interests are, whatever your hobbies are, or you know, ways you spend your time, we can turn that into an acceptable academic topic with probably just a few conversations. So involve me in those, please. Good luck.